Hey everyone, my name is Teresa, and today I'm going to be covering row 4 of the Cryptid Creatures Readathon Bingo. I will be giving prompts for the cryptids listed. Hello. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back if you are not new. I always say that backwards. Hi guys, welcome back. Yes, we are on the last row. We're on the last row of recommendations. This video and then tomorrow's video, and then I am completely done with recommending you all books. Well, I'm not done recommending you books, but I'm done making these videos. They have been a labor of love, let me tell you. I want to make sure really quick before I go on that I remind you all, if you want to participate in this readathon, you need to use the sign up form down below in the description. Make sure you sign up. That is all you have to do. You don't have to join the Discord if you don't want to, but I would ask that you please use the sign up form just so I know how many people are interested in this, to let me know whether or not this is something that I should bring back next year or not. Now, like I said, we are going to be going over the last row for prompts, and we are talking about the specific cryptids this video. So we have Bloop, Jersey Devil, Yeti, and Bunyip. So before we get into those, I would like to ask y'all if you would do me a huge favor and hit that thumbs up button to like this video, and consider subscribing to my channel if you have not done so already. And also make sure that you check out my co-host Nala's channel. She hasn't been very active lately. She's been having some life stuff going on, but she is still a huge part of this readathon, and I want to give her all the support that she deserves. So her channel is linked up above, down below, all of the things. Check out the description. Y'all know the drill. Okay, now that all of that stuff is out of the way, let's talk about some books. I figured for this one, the Bloop, I would probably have to explain myself a little bit, because I'm sure most people don't know what this is unless you're really into cryptids. The Bloop is basically, it's a noise. It's just a noise in the ocean that is at a frequency and a sound that was reported once, never heard ever again. There has been speculation that this is some kind of sea creature. When you listen to it at its normal speed, it's like a really low rumbling sound. But when they speed it up, it literally goes bloop. That's why it's called the Bloop. You can Google it. It's really interesting. It's kind of been debunked by some people, saying that, oh, it's just ice shifting, ice moving, because it was reported down off the coast between South America and Antarctica. But there are some scientists that still believe that no, that's not true. There's still, unknown. So we're just gonna say it could be some weird unknown sea creature. People have said it's like the loneliest creature in the world because it's the only one of its kind of thing. How is that possible though? I don't know. But that's the Bloop. So surprisingly enough, I was able to find, I was a little worried about this one. I was like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to find any books for this. Now, there's at least one book I'm going to recommend that I have no clue if it's truly about this cryptid or if it's just something else that's called Bloop. I have not read any of the Bloop books, just FYI. So I'm recommending them to you because I know, or I'm pretty sure, they have the cryptids in them, not because I know they're good books. So if you think they are horrible books, don't blame me. I'm just the messenger. First up, we have Bloop, the sea creature no one loves. And this is by W. Russell and illustrated by Ortega Art. Literally, it just says, the story of a sea creature who finds his best friends are those who have been there all along. It's very cute. Little whale on the cover. There is, some people did believe, whatever, that it could be some unknown whale species, maybe a hybrid species that has a frequency that no other animal has, so it's so lonely. It's kind of sad, really, if you think about it, if that's truly what it is. Then we have Bloop by Eric S. Brown. This is a horror novel, I guess an adult, I'm not sure. But in 1997, the U.S. Navy recorded an enormously loud, low-frequency underwater sound originating, holy moly, 3,000 miles away in the abysmal depths of the southern Pacific Ocean. That is true. That really happened. In this book, it was deemed to be of animal origin, but one that is unknown to science, and it has not been heard again until now. So if you want some, it's 93 pages. It's super short. So like a little novella. I don't know what the difference between a novella and short story is, but anyways, there you go. There's that one. Then we have Bloop, The Complete Saga by James Back and Eric S. Brown. Apparently this is 3 books in one, or 3 short stories in one. I don't know. It's, again, 92 pages, and it looks like they only have a Kindle edition. So, like, some of these, I don't even know if they're accessible to you all. I literally have no clue. I couldn't find any of these in my library. They're just literally what came up on Goodreads. So if they're unaccessible to you, I really do apologize for that. But I'm just trying to recommend books that have this cryptid in it. Apparently, this has the initial appearance of the Bloop monster, the Navy's epic battle with it. There's a final showdown. Terrifying saga is finally collected into one volume. All the chills, all the adventure, all the horror, and all the blood-splattered action is back in this omnibus edition, complete and unabridged. And it's only 92 pages. So that's a really tiny omnibus, but okay. Guessing horror, adult horror, just by the whole blood-splattered action thingy, but again, never read it. So I can't tell you if that is true or not. Then we have another one that is also called The Bloop. Y'all see a theme here. This is an extremely short story. It's 17 pages long, so if you want to read, if you want a very quick read for this cryptid, you could do this one. It's by C.A. Hewiston, and apparently swimmers have gone missing from the Mulaloon Beach, and there's a marine biologist who is put on beach watch to find the carnivorous sea creature responsible. Is it the unknown species communicating with dolphins on the Bloop recording? And is the creature closer to human than Fink ever imagined? So, like, maybe it's mermaid? I don't know. But there you go. Those are the Bloop books I have to recommend to you guys. Now let's move on to Jersey Devil. Once more, I've not read any of these. First off, we have The Legend of the Jersey Devil by Trinka Hatz Noble and Gerald Kelly. I am so sorry if I am butchering people's names. My last name gets butchered all the time, so I get it. I'm sorry. This is a children's picture book about the Jersey Devil. This award-winning author weaves a spellbinding tale about the origins of the legend of the Jersey Devil. Atmospheric illustrations by artist Gerald Kelly bring the tale to spooky life. So yeah, children's picture book about the Jersey Devil if you're interested in picking that one up. Next up is Phantom of the Pines, More Tales of the Jersey Devil. I guess this is actually like a follow-up book to one written originally. I don't know what year the original one was written, but this was written in 1998, so it is quite old. I say that as someone who was born in 88, so, Yeah, this is by James F. McCloy and Ray Miller. I guess this book came out more than 20 years after their first book. So apparently their first book was from the 70s or the 60s even. I don't know. But this one is just a non-fiction. Its new research into the phenomenon continues to intrigue readers using historical accounts and interviews with New Jerseyites, many of whom were eyewitnesses to the creature's actions. The authors try to piece together the mystery that is the Jersey Devil. Behind every tradition is there something real. Does the Jersey Devil actually exist, leaving its fearsome mark throughout the region, or is it simply a hoax, grown to epic proportions through years of storytelling? Open Phantom of the Pines if you dare and decide for yourself. So, just some fun non-fiction information there. Then we have this one, and I was debating whether or not to recommend this one to you all, because this is one that I can almost guarantee you I will never read, because I think it would be considered splatterpunk horror. I don't know. I don't know much about the different genres of horror. Anyways, that is Call of the Jersey Devil. Like, this cover, it gives like quintessential like 80s horror. Books are like, I don't know about 80s horror books, but like 80s horror. I just feel that, like, with this cover. This was published in 2013, so it's definitely not from the 80s. 5 suburban mall rats and a washed-up goth singer find themselves stranded in the Pine Barrens of New Jersey, where they discover 2 horrifying truths. The Jersey Devil, hellspawn of folklore and legend, is real, and New Jersey, as many already suspected, is the gateway to hell. As many already suspected. Oh my gosh, is the gateway to hell. That's funny. I'm sorry if anyone is from New Jersey. I've never been to Jersey, but I know there's always jokes about it and stuff. It says it's horror, fantasy, goth. Maybe you want to read this one. I don't, but you are welcome to pick it up if you want. I didn't say who the author is. It is Aurelio Volatier. Again, probably said that incorrectly, but yeah, there you go. There's a Jersey Devil book for y'all. The last Jersey Devil book I have to recommend to you all is just called The Jersey Devil. This is a horror, maybe thriller type of story, but it does sound like it might be pretty gruesome. So, again, horror, so I guess you kind of know what you're getting into when you pick up a horror book. But this is following a detective who has no logical answer to explain the brutal murders that leave its victims, that's said weird, anyways, that leave its victims' limbs ripped off their bodies and abdomens shredded to pieces. So it could gloss over it, but I kind of have a feeling, considering this is a ebook, that it doesn't. So I will not be reading this one. Basically, there is a paranormal journalist who is like, it's the Jersey Devil, and the cop is like, no, it's not, until he sees his suspect slaughtered by a creature he has no explanation for. So then they enter a world where folklore is alive and thirsting for blood. As the killings mount, one of them discovers a connection to the beast they wish had remained hidden. Their final decision, whether to destroy the beast or not, will determine if the Jersey Devil continues its reign of terror or fades back into the scary campfire stories everyone else thinks it is. There you go. Those are some Jersey Devil stories for y'all. Second to last is The Yeti, and I actually have a physical book here to show you all. And that is The Secret Life of the Yeti. Y'all remember these? If you have watched my first few recommendation videos that came out, I had a few of the books in this series or the companion stories that I talked about. So this is the last one I have to talk about, and it is Secret Life of the Yeti. Just a really stinking, adorably little cute children's picture book that is just informational about different cryptids. Like, it's 30 some pages long, and this one is by Benjamin Harper. So if you're wanting to read a fun, quick little children's picture book, you can pick up The Secret Life of the Yeti. Let me give you more of a close-up because I know that glare is bad, but there you go. I have read that, by the way, and it is absolutely adorable. It's funny, it's cute, but it's also informative about the creature. So I highly recommend those books if you are interested in reading children's books for this readathon, which you totally can. There is no page limit. Now let's talk about the Yeti books, or the Abominable Snowman books, that I have not read. We have The Abominable, it's a hard word for me to say, The Abominable by Dan Simmons. This does sound like a really good book that I definitely will have put on my radar to look into later. It's a horror, but it's a historical fiction. It's a thriller, so this would also work for the Groot slang, for the hybrid genre. It's 1924, and the race to summit the world's highest mountain has been brought to a terrified pause by the shocking disappearance of George Mallory and Sandy Irvine, high on the shoulder of Mount Everest. But the following year, three climbers, a British poet and veteran of the Great War, a young French guide of something, and an idealistic young American, find their way to take their shot at the top. Basically, the mother of the son who disappeared is funding their expedition because she doesn't believe that he's dead. So she's basically like, go find him and bring him home. They're also joined by the missing boy's female cousin, and as they are high up on the mountain, they find themselves being pursued through the night by someone or something. So sounds really good. I'm definitely putting this on my list to check out for later. Then after that, we have I cannot say that word. The Abominable Snowman of Pasadena. This is by R.L. Stine. This is a Goosebumps book. So if you want to read a Goosebumps book about Yeti in Pasadena, apparently. It says Jordan and his sister live in hot Pasadena, and just for once, they'd like a real winter with real snow. Their dad offers to take them to Alaska, but there's one catch. Dad wants to photograph the Abominable Snowman but he's not camera friendly. Again, haven't read it, but it's Goosebumps, so you know. Then we have a non-fiction that I have to recommend to you guys, and it is My Quest for the Yeti: Confronting the Himalayan's Deepest Mystery by Reinhold Messner, translated by Peter Constantine. Oh my word, the author was the first person to climb Mount Everest without oxygen and the first to climb all 14 of the world's tallest peaks, provides his own first-hand account. He begins by recounting his own terrifying run-ins with the Yeti while hiking alone in remote parts of Nepal, and how they led to his determination to solve their mystery through subsequent expeditions. Dang, this author is something, man. It says this is an account of a quest taking readers on a hair-raising climb through Nepal, Bhutan, Ladakh, northern India, and even Tibet, where Messner was a fugitive from Chinese authorities. This guy has lived a life. But yeah, nonfiction. This was written in 1998 as well. And I guess, yeah, sounds interesting. I don't know what nationality he is or like what it was. This says translated into English, so I'm not sure. I'm not sure what the original language is, what nationality he is. But yeah, that one sounds really fascinating and wild, like this true story, you know, like true, like they always say truth is stranger than fiction, right? Okay, and our last Yeti book to talk about is a little children's picture book called Dear Yeti, and this is by James Kwan. A funny and heartfelt winter story about two boy hikers who set off to search for the mystical Yeti. They go out to look for the Yeti with the help of a bird friend. They trek further and further into the woods, sending letters to coax the side creature out of hiding. But as their trip goes on, the hikers find they may have not prepared very well. And though their morale is high, food supplies are low, the forest is getting darker, and the snowstorm looms. Luckily, Yeti is a friend they can rely on, and though he's not ready to come out of hiding, he sneakily finds ways to get the hikers exactly what they need and when they need it. So, just a cute little children's picture book about the Yeti. Okay, guys, we are on our last cryptid of the board. Apologies if it looks like I'm crying. I got something in my eye and like it's watering really bad. So I'm not actually crying. I'm just like, whew, my eyes are watering. Okay, so we are now on to the last cryptid, holy moly, of the board, y'all. The last cryptid of the board. This is the Bunyip. First book to talk about is a nonfiction, and it's called Bunyip's Australia's Folklore of Fear. This is by Robert Holden, and it is published by the National Library of Australia. So I do not know if this is available outside of Australia or if it's like one of those reference books that only libraries have. I don't know. But it sounds interesting. It's all about the literature, folklore, and superstitions around this creature. It includes extracts from Australian stories about bunyips by, I'm assuming, Australian authors. So it sounds pretty cool, but again, I do not know if it's accessible outside of Australia. But I was having a difficult time finding books for some of these cryptids, so I'm just giving you what I found. Next up, we have the Bunyip, and this is the Abnormal Field Guides to Cryptid Creatures, one of their little, I don't know if it's a book or a magazine, I'm not quite sure, but this one is, it just says, in this volume, we head down under in search of Australia's aquatic anomaly, the Bunyip. So, children's book or children's story by Madeline King, and Julian Baker is the illustrator. Then we have another children's picture book, and it's called Bunyips Don't. It says, do bunyips sing like wattlebirds, dance like borgals, and have birthday parties? Old bunyips say bunyips don't, but young Bunyip has ideas of his own. Will the dankest side of the creek or the sunny side win in the argument? So yeah, just a picture book about bunyips. Again, I don't know if like some of these are available outside of Australia, again, because the bunyip is an Australian creature, and like, you know, sometimes it's only local that has it, but yeah, again, they're just ones I found. And guys, the last book that I have to talk to you about that has a bunyip in it for the readathon. After this, there's one more video, and then we are on to the actual readathon itself. I'm so excited. Okay, so this is Evangeline and the Bunyip. Actually, that's really funny. My niece is named Evangeline. This is book 2 in the series of The Antics of Evangeline, and this is by Madeline D'Este. According to Goodreads, it is a young adult steampunk fantasy. It actually sounds pretty good. It says Evangeline is back with another adventure with balls, bunyips, and blancmagage. I don't know what that word is. In 1882, Melbourne is under threat from the fearsome Bunyip, and the Argus announces a reward for the capture of the beast. But Evangeline is not afraid. This is the perfect chance for Evangeline to test out her new monster catching device and save the day. With help from her best friend Mia and plenty of raspberry tarts, of course. Evangeline and the Bunyip is a second episode in the Antics of Evangeline series of mystery and mayhem set in steampunk Melbourne. So it sounds really cute and really fun. So that is it, guys. Those are all of the cryptid books that I have to recommend to you all for this readathon. If you want more cryptid books, I have a master list on my Goodreads. You can find the link down below where I went through and found a ton of cryptid books and just tagged them all. I have no idea. Most of them, like you can see, majority of them I've never read. So again, I can't tell you if these are good books or not. They're just books that have the cryptid in it. So I was like, hey, I just want to bring awareness to that in case you are someone who really wants to read cryptid books but doesn't know where to look or where to find them. So also you can check out my previous videos that I have done, and tomorrow's video as well will be my very last recommendation video before Readathon. I'm so excited. I'm so grateful for each and every one of you who has been on this adventure with me, and I cannot wait to see what happens in September as we actually start the readathon and move forward. Thank you guys so much for watching and supporting me. It truly means the world. As I said in the beginning of the video, please make sure to give us a thumbs up if you liked it. Leave a comment down below letting me know, have you read any of these books? Do any of them sound interesting to you? Maybe I put a book on your radar that you now are interested in, like the abominable one that I found, and I'm like, that sounds interesting to me. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Happy cryptid hunting, y'all, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye.